Now, UK defence officials are saying that a Ukrainian counteroffensive in Kherson is gathering pace, with a key bridge in the southern city of Ukraine being essentially taken out of action by Ukrainian forces who have struck it with those long-range rockets that you can see on your TV. Well, Kherson was one of the first cities to be taken by Russian forces earlier on in the invasion and is now virtually cut off from other occupied territories. Well, delighted to say to join me in the studio is the Ukrainian Member of Parliament, Kira Rudik, who's been on the programme many times down the line from Ukraine, but is here with us in London this afternoon. Kira, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Just talk about this counteroffensive, because it could be quite significant. This was the first city, wasn't it, to fall to the Russians, and the Ukrainians are attempting to take it back.
It is indeed significant, and it's our main aim right now. We started receiving NATO-grade weapons, and we are showing the whole world how effective our army could be when we have enough of weapons and resources. So I do really hope that by the beginning of winter, and we all know that it will be incredibly complicated winter, we will be able to take Kherson back. That will be crucial to show the world our resolve to take back our territories and not to allow Russia to do this referendum there. Because we know that this is what they are planning. They are launching counterattacks on the east of the country, but now our concentration is to get the city in the south.
Really, really interesting, isn't it? And it's good to see that some of the weapons, I think, supplied by the UK and others seem to be making a difference. Is there a sense, though, and you've been to the UK many times, haven't you, over the last couple of months, that the attention of the Western world on Ukraine is not quite as great as it was back in February or March time? Is that concerning, that people seem to be focusing on gas prices and the cost of living crisis rather than necessarily on the war in Ukraine?
But gas prices and cost of living prices, they are directly linked to Ukraine. And of course, there is no such emotion that was at the very beginning, but now it is more of a pragmatic support that the governments and parliaments know that they have to provide to Ukraine, because we are basically fighting as a shield. Look, even imagine that there is no Ukraine. Do you think that Putin will become a nicer person overnight and the gas prices will go down? I don't think so. Do you think that with Ukrainian ports being blocked, the grain prices will change? And so the questions and the fights that we are fighting right now on our land are actually the answer to so many of the issues that people of the whole world are experiencing right now. The cost of a biscuit here in the United Kingdom is directly linked to the question, are we going to be able to export the grains or not? The cost of the amount that you see on the energy bill is directly linked to the question, are the sanctions going to be actually working and weakening Putin down or not?
Change things at all. And just what of things like in Ukraine? We know tens of thousands of people have sadly lost their lives. Millions of people have been displaced. But some people have returned home from having fled the early couple of months. What is life like? Ukraine's a big country. But what is life like for lots of ordinary Ukrainians today? Sometimes you can forget that there is war, and you can imagine and pretend that things are okay. You can drink coffee with your friend, or you can have a dinner with your family, but then suddenly it is interrupted by air raid sirens and everybody have to go to hide. And this is so terrifying, because this is Putin's aim to make sure that we do not feel safe anywhere in our country. And this is true, we do not feel safe anywhere. Because you see, like overnight, tonight, there were like 25 different rocket attacks to different areas of Ukraine. This happened because today is a date of christening of the Kievan Rus. And as we know, for tyrannies and for Putin as a tyrant, it's always a matter of pride to attack on some significant date. So this is what he has done. But every time you hope that you get to some normality, it is always interrupted by something. And you know, right now, after 5.5 months of war, every Ukrainian family has either been to a funeral or have received a coffin. And we do not forget about it, because people whom you loved, people whom you've seen, people whom you know, are actually dying at the front and not coming back.
Yes, very sad indeed. Kira, we really appreciate you coming in today. Thank you very much indeed, Kira Rudik there.
Thank you.
Ukrainian Member of Parliament joining us here in the studio. Thank you very much.